It's my best friend's birthday and I wanted to make her a very special birthday cake. But she can't have gluten or dairy. So I'm gonna make her a gluten and dairy-free chocolate layer cake with dairy-free chocolate ganache drip. It's gonna be divine. Let's get started.
First, we're gonna add all our dry ingredients to a mixing bowl. Starting with 2 cups of all-purpose gluten-free flour, 2 cups of granulated sugar, 3/4 of a cup of cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1½ teaspoons of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Now I'm just going to blend that really well in my stand mixer. While that's mixing, just a quick note about the all-purpose flour. I'm using this gluten-free 1-to-1 baking flour from Bob's Red Mill. I would recommend using a flour blend like this instead of coconut flour or plain almond flour, for example. Once that's mixed, I'll start adding the wet ingredients, starting with 1 cup of plant-based milk. This is almond milk. 1/2 cup of neutral oil. This is grapeseed oil. 2 eggs. Feel free to use your favorite egg substitute. 1 cup of boiling water. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Once all your ingredients are in, increase the mixer to high speed and mix for 1 minute. Set a timer.
I do what I want.
Once the batter is mixed, I'm going to divide it equally between 3 8-inch cake pans, which I've prepared with parchment paper, and into a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven for 30 to 35 minutes, or until a tester inserted into the center of the cake comes out clean. These smell amazing. Next, I'll make the ganache drip so it has a chance to cool while we make the icing. First, I'll measure out 8 ounces or 226 grams of dairy-free chocolate chips into a heat-proof bowl. This is the brand I'm using. I think they're pretty tasty. These ones are dairy and gluten-free because we don't want any of those things.
They will kill you.
Next, we'll heat up 1 cup of full-fat coconut milk. Pro tip, give it a good shake first. Heat the coconut milk over medium heat just until it comes to a simmer. You don't want it to boil. Pour the hot coconut milk over the chocolate chips and let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes. Then give it a stir until it's all mixed together and smooth. Now set this aside to cool slightly while we make the frosting. To the bowl of a stand mixer, add 1 cup or 226 grams of dairy-free butter at room temperature, or beyond, like this one. 2 teaspoons vanilla extract. Now I'll mix this on medium-high speed until the vanilla is completely mixed into the butter. It usually takes about 2 minutes. Now I'll add 4 cups of icing or confectioner's sugar and 3/4 of a cup of cocoa powder. Now back to the mixer and we'll mix this really carefully until it's all incorporated, like this. And then I'll add the rest of the coconut milk, 1 tablespoon at a time, until it's the consistency I like. I think I ended up using 4 tablespoons of coconut milk. I'm looking for consistency that's really easy to spread. Before I frost the cake, I'm just going to give it a good stir just to make sure I get every little bit of butter and cocoa mixed together. Now I'm going to grab my spinny wheel thing for frosting cakes. You don't need this, but it helps. Starting with a cake board. I'll just slap a little icing on there as glue, and then I'll place on the first layer. Pro tip, if you refrigerate the cake after you bake it, it's much easier to handle. Now I'll add about 1/2 cup of frosting and smooth it out to the edges. Now just repeat that with the other 2 layers. Here's another pro tip, put the top layer upside down so it's perfectly flat. To finish off the cake, add the rest of the frosting to the top and sides. Smooth out as best as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're adding a drip, which will hide our mediocre frosting job. Once you have that all smoothed out to your satisfaction, grab a paper towel and clean up the sides of the cake board a bit. Now grab your slightly cooled ganache. It should look a little bit like this. Still nice and drippy, but not so hot that it will melt the frosting. Using a spoon, go 1 spoon at a time and just add it to the edge of the cake, just so that it drips over slightly. You can push it a little bit with the spoon. It looks kind of cool if you can do each one differently. And then just go around the sides until you've done all the drips. Add a couple of spoonfuls to the middle and just smooth it out with the back of your spoon. It will flatten out slightly, but not much. And there you have it, a dairy-free, gluten-free chocolate cake. If you learned anything from this video, please give it a like and subscribe so you never miss another recipe. You can find the link to this recipe in the description box below. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.